We think so too.
We were going to do a bunch of exercise that we had made up as the Lunar Olympics. Show you what a guy could do on the moon with a backpack on. But
for a 380-pound guy, that's pretty good.
They threw that out. Yeah, jump flat-footed, straight in the air. 300, about 4 feet. Wow. Charlie, that ain't any fun, is it? That ain't very smart. Well,
we have a few minutes left, so we decide to do the Moon Olympics. I decide to try to set the high jump record on the moon. And as I start to do that, I bounce a couple of times, and then I fall over backwards. And as I fall over backwards, fear strikes. If I split my suit open, I'm dead. As John helps me up, I get very, very quiet as I listen to the pumps and the oxygen flow in the suit. Fortunately, the suit holds, and my fear subsides.
We were going to do a bunch of exercise that we had made up as the Lunar Olympics. Show you what a guy could do on the moon with a backpack on. But
for a 380-pound guy, that's pretty good.
They threw that out. Yeah, jump flat-footed, straight in the air. 300, about 4 feet. Wow.
We have a few minutes left, so we decide to do the Moon Olympics. I decide to try to set the high jump record on the moon. And as I start to do that, I bounce a couple of times. We have a few minutes left, so we decide to do the Moon Olympics. I decide to try to set the high jump record on the moon. And as I start to do that, I bounce a couple of times.
Making a rooster tail. Well, folks, that dirt didn't fly up very high, and it didn't stay up in the air. It came down really quick. And according to statistics, dust and he won 6th. Gravity atmosphere. In fact, an atmosphere only 2% as dense as Earth's atmosphere. That dust should still be floating around somewhere, shouldn't it? But it didn't. How are we going to explain this? How does NASA explain it? Very simply, folks, they don't. They can't. They never could, and they never will.
We were going to do a bunch of exercise that we had made up as the Lunar Olympics. show you what a guy could do on the moon. We were going to do a bunch of exercise that we had made up as the Lunar Olympics. Show you what a guy could do on the moon. We were going to do a bunch of exercise that we had made up as the Lunar Olympics. Show you what a guy could do on the moon. Houston, while you're looking that up, you might recognize what I have in my hand is the handle for the contingency sample return. It just so happens to have a genuine 6-iron on the bottom of it. In my left hand, I have a little white pellet that's familiar to millions of Americans. Drop it down. Unfortunately, the suit is so stiff I can't do this with 2 hands, but I'm going to try a little sand trap shot here. And he got more dirt than ball that side. More dirt than ball. Here we go again.
That looked like a slice to me, Al.
There we go. There's the die. One more. Miles and miles and miles.
Very good, Daniel.
I'm Bart with ABC Digital. How you doing? I was given a classified tape from the Apollo program. It's 31 years old. It's an unedited reel, including outtakes from the mission. It's got about 20 takes of a single shot of the mission.
What mission?
Apollo 11.
Yes.
And the photography is being forged in the mission. They're faking a shot of being halfway to the moon. And they refer to you on the tape as a shot that was done during Apollo 10, where you put a transparency over the window and move the camera of the Earth and move the camera back away from the window. Turn off the lights in the spacecraft and appeared to be halfway to the moon when in fact they were in Earth orbit.
Huh, really?
Yeah, and they said it was the same way that you did it on Apollo 10. So we wanted to give you the opportunity to put your left hand on the Bible, to raise your right hand, to swear to God.
Stick it in your ear.
Well, you were giving an opportunity to swear to God under oath that you walked on the moon.
I don't do that now.
Well, if you really walked on the moon, what's the problem of swearing to God that you did? Do you believe in God?
You want me to knock you in the head?
Well, I want you to swear to God on the Bible that you walked on the moon. If you walked on the moon, we're given the opportunity to swear to God that you walked on the moon.
I'm going to give you the opportunity to get the hell knocked out of you if you don't leave me alone.
to accomplish.
I have two brief questions I'd like to ask, if I may. When you were carrying out that incredible moonwalk, did you find that the surface was equally firm anywhere, or were there harder and softer spots that you could detect? And secondly, when you looked up at the sky, could you actually see the stars and the solar corona in spite of the glare?
We were never able to see stars from the lunar surface or on the daylight side of the moon by eye without looking through the optics. I don't recall during the period of time that we were photographing the solar corona what stars we could see.
I don't remember seeing any.
Neil, you were a little bit concerned, you said, about stubbing your toe.
I don't remember seeing any.
Neil, you were a little bit concerned, you said, about...
I don't remember seeing any. I don't remember seeing any.
Neil, you were a little bit concerned, you said, about...
I don't remember seeing any.
You don't see stars in the daytime on Earth, not because they're not there, but because the atmosphere is aglow with scattered light from the sun. If you take away the atmosphere, the sun will still be there, but the sky goes dark. That's what the folks get when they go to the edge of the atmosphere, and they're calling that the edge of space. But when you get to the edge of the atmosphere is no longer between you and the rest of the universe, and the stars reveal themselves just as they would at night. Since the moon has no atmosphere, then a daytime picture, if you're there in the daytime of the moon, you see a full night sky of stars, even with the sun in the sky as well. But when you get to the edge of the atmosphere, the stars reveal themselves just as they would at night. If you're there in the daytime of the moon, you see a full night sky of stars, even with the sun in the sky as well. Even with the sun in the sky as well.
We were never able to see stars from the lunar surface or on the daylight side of the moon by eye without looking through the optics. We were never able to see stars.
The sky is deep black when viewed from the moon, as it is when viewed from cislunar space, the space between the Earth and the moon.
If you're there in the daytime of the moon, you see a full night sky of stars, even with the sun in the sky as well.
With us, a group of students among America's best. To you, we say, we have only completed a beginning. We leave you much that is undone. There are great ideas undiscovered, breakthroughs available to those who can remove one of truth's protective layers. There are places to go beyond belief. Those challenges are yours. In many fields, not the least of which is space, because there lies human destiny.
Riveted on the first man on the moon, talking to them, and he looked at them and he said, there are wonders beyond belief. There are truths to be revealed if one can remove truth's protective layers. Now, where in the world does one get the idea the truth has to have protection to be found out?
Above all, we were struck by his humility.
You sometimes seem uncomfortable with your celebrity, that you'd rather not have all of this attention.
No, I just don't deserve it.
But look, how many people have walked on the moon? 12?
No, I just don't deserve it.
Finding a suitable site to place the scientific instruments was the next order of business. Shepard and Mitchell now began setting up the automated scientific laboratory. Distance, the wobble of the Earth's axis, continental drift, and shifts of the Earth's crust.